The two downsides, in my opinion, on this Smith machine, because there's so many upsides to this, the two downsides is going to be the height, which for me, as you can see, I'm 6'2". I'm getting pretty close, if not at the top of this. It's somewhere, again, check their website, in the 72-inch range. It also is going to depend on where you have it mounted. And that's one nice thing, because you can mount it wherever you want. I decided to mount it at the lowest to be able to do lower movements, things like bent over rows or, normal barbell press, stuff like that, potentially even Romanian deadlift. You can mount it as high as you want. So on a rack like this, I could have chosen to take this, mount it as high as I can up here. Just my starting stopping height is going to be shifted higher rather than shifted lower. For most people, I suggest putting it down because you can still do squats, although I'm close to the top latch on here, so not having more room. So for me, when I'm doing squats, I'm in the second highest position. When I'm angled like this top one is actually not usable because you can't really get that in there because of this bracket. So if you had this in the straight configuration, you could use this top stopper, but in the angled configuration, you have to use the second stopper. So point being, squatting is probably going to be the highest limitation where you start this movement at. So I would assume someone up to 6'4", 6'5", which is really what ends up being the high end for most of these machines. And I'm sure all you tall people out there over that height know that pretty much nothing is actually made for you over that height because most people are not that tall. The overall height though, because I have it in this lower setting, means obviously I can't go higher than whatever 70, 71, 72 inches this has here. If you want to do a standing overhead press something, not going to happen. Although if you're doing, let's say, a seated military press, full stretch, you will end up somewhere about in this top peg as well. So you have full range of motion there. Like I said, you can move it higher or lower on the uprights if you want to, if you have taller uprights. I personally would like to see them offer two heights, like a short version like this, and then maybe one that's somewhere in the 8, 9, 10 inches taller. Then it gives me a little more flexibility as far as mounting points. But again, for the price, if that's what's going to keep the price low, is they just have a one-stop shop package. But I think they could easily make exactly this, a little bit longer tubes, charge me an extra 50, 100 bucks or so for the extra metal tube, whatever. I would like that option.